Hey guys, it's Big Sexy with Big Sexy Outdoors. If you guys are looking for your bucks to be big and sexy like me, I recommend you go out and get yourself some Big Sexy by Domain. This product is filled with radish, turnips, and kale, and other vegetation to keep the deer coming back all season long. Go out to your local Tractor Supply and purchase some today. Big Sexy by Domain.
Hey, what's up, Bo Matt? How you doing, brother? And hi, everybody else. It's Chris and Ben with Big Sexy Outdoors Indoors Podcast. What's up? Chris, any adventures this week?
No, I've been up in the hospital with Juliet she just got home a little bit ago.
Again?
Yeah, she had to have the surgery. So
I was going to say, did they set that? I didn't know when it was happening. I knew she broke her arm and they had to reset it, so that all happened today. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry to hear that. It's definitely an adventure, though.
It's something.
It's an adventure, just not one we're excited to share it.
No, I was just tired.
So, Mike, hey, what's up, brother? Hey, no problem.
Yeah,
I threw the message out just to...
I wasn't sure if you'd be able to make it, so that's why I sent you the link, bud.
I think he's every other week when I talked to him last time. Lately, everybody else has been hit or miss, but we do have 3 on. And
Thanks,
Mike
bud.
and Bo Matt are joining us. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it is terrible, Chris. I said that before. I'll say it again.
Well, I showed you the picture. So
the thing is, when it comes to children and sports, those things happen. And I think sports are good for them no matter what happens. I always believe that. I think it gets them social and involved, and it just helps them overall in the end. So even though it sucks, I do think it's better for them. One thing we were on the subject of a little bit last week, Chris, you and I, we got on the subject of predator hunting and equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent you some videos, and one thing I really want to go over is I could go over 1,000 different setups, okay? I don't have 1,000 different setups. I have my setup. I know what my buddy has. I know there's other people with even more top dollar setups. So what I wanted to do was show you guys a little bit of what I use and what my buddy, or I should say partner, because we do all the predator hunting together, that we use in setups. So I wanted to show you first, which is mine. I run a low dollar setup. Okay. Like I said, I think Chris has a video. I'll let him just pull mine up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys have any questions on this quick little video, I want you to just blurt it out. I'll answer whatever questions we can. We'll stop the little video. It's only like a minute or two long.
Well, you sent me a few.
Yeah. So one of them is me. One of them is Brian, and a couple other are the thermal scanners and other things we use doing this.
Okay. Well, I'll just go from the top down. Whatever
Okay.
you sent. All right, just so we know where we're at.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this is
again. Go ahead.
Let me blow my screen up. I just want to blow my screen up so I can see everything.
I say now, if Facebook says anything, like how they're saying we're getting copyright strikes on everything. The only videos we're showing this week are ours, just to make sure that we can, to make sure that that's what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know why, but we
Thanks.
got copyrighted big time.
Like 2 weeks in a row, they won't show any of our stuff. So anyway,
Bomad, Chris does a phenomenal job with what he does. Them graphics and things are incredible. I absolutely love them.
I'm half retarded.
Only half though, Chris. That means the other half isn't.
Well, you got me there. You got me there.
See, I found a positive in it.
All right. Now, as God is my witness, there we go.
Predator hunting. Now, I race.
You can hear it okay?
A lot of guys
Yep.
have different setups.
Excellent.
We're going to show you 2 different setups right now. This is mine. I have a cheaper setup. I kill coyotes. I have a lot of fun doing it. First, let's start with the stand. This is a Bog Pod Death Grip. This was about $200. The gun is a Savage 22-250. That was $350, $400 range. Then I run Night Vision 4K Sightmark Wrath. This beast is heavy. This is the original. I did order a brand new one in, which is a little more expensive. I did not get it on yet. This scope at the time of purchase was about $600. I bought the external battery pack so I can let it on all night long. This was $100. Mounts right to the top.
Oh,
and then I have a Sniper Hog Light Coyote Cannon, which runs the IR light. That was about $220.
Okay, let me
So
hold
my
that right there.
setup is a low.
So one thing I want to add to all that is that Coyote Cannon is, to me, one of the better end of the Sniper Hog Lights. It's one of the better setups. You get more beam out there. You have better adjustments. Again, my opinion, it does not mean everybody else has to use this setup. So that's something to think about in it. The other thing is, without that light, when you're running night vision, you heard me mention the night vision scope and the Sightmark Wrath. Without that beam, so that is not a red light. That is an IR. That's the upgraded IR light. And that there, without that, your night vision does not work, because a lot of guys will ask, well, why is that? Why does that happen? So the reason we use that is because if we don't put that on, you can't see the night vision is useless without the IR. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it makes sense. So when I go out and I do whatever hunting I do, I don't carry a tripod with me because I can hold it. Do you need it because of all this extra equipment on the gun?
Well, so that's a great question. So I can answer that with partially yes. And if you put these scopes on and you start adding all this stuff to the gun, a gun is very, very, very heavy. My gun weighs a lot more than the other setup I'm going to show you, but it's because of the type of scope I have and what it is. But they're all heavy. So I'm going to say yes. The other thing is, the reason we use a tripod is because you always want to be steady on long distance shots. And
what do you mean? What do you mean long distance?
Well, a lot of times coyotes will come in, fox. You'll see them coming in from 500 yards. Fox on one side will come in to probably 40 yards. I've had them 30 yards already. Coyotes we've had as close as 30, 40 yards already. Matter of fact, I have a video out there where my buddy Brian missed at 25 yards coyote. So it is out there. It happens.
And there's some where they take in the team of people going out to actually have one person with a shotgun just in case they get that close.
Absolutely. So that's another one, Chris. So a lot of times these guys will run teams. They'll take a rifle or two, and then they run a shotgun with a red light. So if it gets real close and you pick it up real close, they'll let the guy with the shotgun take it out. And shotguns a lot of times are used if you're hunting in the woods and not in the field. So that happens a lot.
So I was going to say, the only times I've ever seen them or I've been around them was when they were within 30, 40 yards, because I don't have places where it's giant open fields. It's always been in middle of the woods kind of a thing.
So another thing here is I have a special setup. If you look in that video, that picture where it's paused on the front, my Sniper Hog Lights is actually hooked right into a special bracket that goes into where your gunsling goes. You know how that gunsling turns in? That's a little... I have a special bracket for that. And I can't remember for life me what that bracket's called, so shame on me. But I have a special bracket that goes on there, and I think I like, after using it, my Sniper Hog Coyote Cannon way better on the bottom of my gun than the top. So here's the flaw in that. The flaw in that is when you carry it with your sling, you can feel it. Okay. When you carry it with a sling, I almost have to carry it instead of, you standardly carry and your gun is up like this. When you put a sling on, I kind of have to carry mine on a lean, almost flat.
Okay. Because that was going to be my next question.
Yeah, it moves the light if I don't, and I hate that part.
Well, my question was this: two things actually. You're not going out there in perfect weather all the time.
No.
So how much does weather affect the IR light and the thermal scope?
I love that question. I love that. I'll tell you why. Because fog is your biggest downfall in this. Fog is by far your biggest. We've hunted with light rains and mists, and it does hinder a little bit, but nothing hinders that light, in my opinion, and thermal like fog. You can cut your visibility in half with fog. I mean, it's terrible.
I've been out and I've looked through the thermal scope where if without the scope you don't see anything. It's that dark. But as soon as they put that scope on, you can see tons of things. I mean, it's more alive than you think it is. But also, like when you're carrying it, do you have to worry about debris, things landing on this? Or do you guys have it covered as you're walking?
Not really. So we try to walk through mainly fields. Now here's one as we walk that a lot of people probably don't do is a lot of guys will use a red light to walk in. Dave claim and everything you read and do that the red light is not seen by animals, right? That's what they claim. However, we walk in the pitch black and my eyes suck. So there's many times I about fall on my face. But it definitely is. It's tough. Again, you're carrying a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So basically, on one shoulder, I'm carrying a gun. On the other shoulder, I'm carrying the tripod already pulled out. Now, they do have, and you'll see in the next video, they do have other tripods out there that are very lightweight, graphite, and things like that to change. This was and used to be one of the best tripods in the market.
There you go.
I still think it's a phenomenal tripod. However, they make new head setups. They make all kind. Again, in another video, you'll see some of that. That exists. So
and what are you running, a 270 or 2?
So that's a 22 250 right there.
Okay.
Yep, that's a Savage Axis 22 250. I use nothing. I used to use I had a 6.5 Creedmoor. When you shoot a coyote, it blows it in half, or a fox. You literally have to hold it together to take pictures. I've used AR 5.56, and to be straightforward with you, a 223. That damage on that isn't near as good. However, I just don't have anything for an AR. I have one here. I don't shoot it ever. I have nothing for it.
Yeah, I've never shot one.
Absolutely hate them. I love the gun. If I was going to shoot and I was going to use it as target practice, I could shoot all day. But there's something about that gun when I'm hunting that I just don't. It's not for me.
You know what my favorite gun is to hunt with?
What's that?
Lever action 30-30. It's light.
A lot of guys.
It's powerful enough. With them. I had a scope on mine when I had one, and again, you could walk in the woods and never even feel the weight of the thing. It's out there that light. So that was one of my favorites.
So the old 30. So I recommend something along the lines of a bolt.
See, I love lever.
Well, so when you're predator hunting, along the lines of bolt, or like, again, a lot of guys love the AR. You want to be able to take, when you're predator hunting like this, you want to be able to take your fastest shot. So if you miss, you want to be able to get on it and shoot again quick. So a lot of guys that take the AR, you'll have 4 or 5 rounds go off pretty fast, trying to, and that happens. And it's cool. I love it. Again, I've done it. I love getting that extra shot. If you miss, it's always great to have it. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
However, I personally, there's just something I don't like about it. I don't know if it's the way it lays on my shoulder. I can't answer it.
But you'd prefer the semi-auto version over?
I would.
Over bolt. Yeah, or lever.
I would. I just don't. There's some of the ARs that just don't settle for me.
I'm gonna finish this
Lower
one.
range setup. And I'm going to show you guys Brian's setup, which is a little more the high dollar, but not your highest dollar. So one thing I
Now, who's Brian? If you want to intro him, he's not here,
Yeah.
of course.
I invited Brian to join us tonight.
Yeah.
Brian is very camera shy.
Yeah.
I couldn't get him on.
Yeah.
Brian is a friend of mine I met years and years ago. We do a lot of night hunting together. This is Brian on the screen popping up here.
Jesus.
Now, listen, you guys want to see a new setup. So when I tell you I'm in a low dollar setup to hunt night fishing, I need you to know that that low dollar setup, okay, is somewhere around, and I'm including the gun, okay? So I'm going to throw numbers out to you. Gun.
Are you trying to take over Afghanistan with this
Oh,
thing?
wait, dude, wait. Wait till you see the real video of this thing. So my gun is around 450. My scope was around, I think when I bought that new, that scope was around 900. Sniper hog lights.
Sniper Ben, he paid $1.50 for everything. Yeah. Don't lie to you.
The sniper hog light, that was around 350 new. Now that came in a big kit with extra batteries. The mount was $35 for the sniper hog light, the special mount. And I'm trying to think what else is on there. So I have a $100 battery pack with a cord that runs on that light. As a matter of fact, the light you see on there is up for sale. Anybody looking? I have that up for sale. I'm going to sell that rather cheap because the USB port stopped working and it runs on batteries, solely batteries right now. And I also bought a brand new one to replace that I've not even taken out of the box, but to set it on top of the gun and look through, and I don't like it. I bought a brand spanking new. I have that one up for sale right now if someone wants to private message me. That is a Sight Mark Wrath 4K Mini. Anyway, not to get off subject, I want to throw that out there. So my low dollar range is about $2,000.
And I'm about to do something that I would not usually do. Listen, we've invited many people to come on, but I'm going to put it out here now. If you want to sign up and you want to book a day to come on here, there's the link. We just put it out. Grab it.
Oh, man, we'd love to see you.
That's what I'm saying.
Chase, more than welcome again.
Yep.
There's a bunch of you guys out there. Please come join us. Join us in conversation. You can pick the topic. We don't even care.
Drama, come on in.
Yeah, drama, join us. Sorry, my screen's blown up. I can't see the names. Chris can see who's all aboard.
Yeah. But I am going to have to cut off in a second. Not the stream. I mean, I'm going to have to step away from the stream in a couple of minutes. Just giving you the heads up. But yeah, I want to play this one here and see this setup.
So this setup, Chris, before you play it, sorry. This setup here is about this setup here is about $8,000.
Jesus.
So when you guys listen to what's on this gun, I want you to pay close attention. This is a mid-grade setup. I call this mid-grade. When I tell you top dollar, you're looking at $20,000, $15,000, $20,000. This is just what I call a mid-grade setup. So watch this video.
This is the Interroll RT90C. It's carbon fiber.
Okay, now that's his tripod.
That's a nice tripod.
Your best bang for the buck tripod. It ain't the highest one. I would say it's about the middle. So this runs about $330, I think, on Amazon. It does not come with a head. So when you get a head, you can choose between a ball head or a level head. This is the level head. I think, in my opinion, the level head is more stable.
Okay, I'm pausing it here because I have a question.
Okay.
Now, when you're out there and you're doing this, and I've been out, I think, what did we go out twice?
We were out a couple times.
Yeah, I think I got to go out with you like 2 or 3 times. But anyway, how important is it that you have a ball swivel, I guess is the best way to call it, where you can go sideways and up and down at the drop of a hat?
Dude, that's super important because
it looks like this one can't.
It can actually.
I'm just saying it looks like it can't to me.
So this one here, I have not used this one personally. However, I've seen it in use. This one here, more swivels. And you can adjust it a little easier. So this one here, when you set it to height, you can more or less rotates way better than mine.
Right.
But it does move up and down as well. The other thing I like is this setup here. So let me tell you this while you're asking questions. This setup here, my tripod, okay, my tripod is, I got to put my gun in it after my tripod is set up. Okay,
Right.
so I'll carry everything into where I'm going and set it up, and that's how I do it.
Yeah.
This setup that Brian has, the way you see it right now, he will pull it out of the truck, put the gun on it, and he will carry that tripod with the gun locked in, and it will never fall off.
Oh, wow. You see what Bob's saying?
Okay. Bob says most of our shots are under 50 yards. I mostly use a 22, sometimes a 22 mag for coyote competitions in winter. I've used the 243 for shooting across frozen lakes. Yeah, Bob, I can't lie to you and tell you that most of our shots are about 100 yards. I have seen Brian, this guy with this setup, actually with a different scope, same setup, different scope, a Pulsar C50. I've seen him shoot coyotes running, and this is a God's honest truth, at a full tilt run and hit him at 357 yards, one shot, knock him dead.
Now, let me ask you, do you bring a pistol, Judge 945?
One of us carry. One of us do.
Just in case.
One of us always carry. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking the Judge because you can pop the 410 shells in it as well as the.
I like the Judge because a lot of people don't realize how sneaky a coyote can be.
Oh yeah.
So the coyotes can really sneak up on you now, and we'll show you this in a little bit. But we run thermal scanners. The thermal scanners are a huge difference. They prevent something from sneaking up on you. I can see a mouse at 300 yards.
We need to talk about that camera too, like the spinning 360 camera that tracks you, because I need to get one.
Okay. Yeah, well,
this
definitely.
Is Zero Fox Given level head, and that ran about 230, I believe it was. We'll move.
So, Chris, hold on.
The gun.
So just that head was $230.
Yeah.
And the tripod was $330. So just think about that. I paid $200 for my whole setup.
I've never paid $250 for the head of the swivel. My bad.
Oh my God, Chris! I caught on. It took me a minute. God, I was slow.
That's all right. That's all right. But no, I liked when you were doing the fishing video. I was going to show it how that camera actually tracked you as you were walking, and I thought that's a really good one to have when you're out there.
It was awesome.
6mm arc. For those who don't know, that's a 6mm diameter bullet that out of an AR-15 platform. So I have the can obviously on the front of it, which is
okay
for pulling in doubles or possibly even triples in one stand. I think a can is very, very important.
I see there it's tilted. Double. What is that?
So that is a silencer. When he calls it a can, that is a silencer.
Yeah,
suppressor, silent. You call it what you want. It silences sound. At the end of the day, that's what it does. Yeah. That there. I think he tells you the cost. That cost him $1,200 or $1,300.
Jesus.
Now, I will tell you this. I've seen him shoot at a coyote because we take turns normally, or a fox, and miss and have it just stand there and be like, "What was that?" With my gun, okay. Excuse me, my nose itches. One shot, and they're gone if I miss.
Right.
Because mine's like boom, and Brian's is like. So that is truly a big deal and something I don't own.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you can continue. I just wanted to point that out.
No, it's fine. I was checking on Facebook because something happened. And Facebook went all wonky again for a minute, and because I'm doing the backstage stuff too, as well as trying to talk. So if I zone out, that's what I'm doing. Okay, except for now, I really have to go for a minute. But no, I think this setup is pretty cool. It's just there's no way on God's green earth I can
full shots and follow up shots and stuff like that. So.
I love that thermal. I think it's the one I got to look through, right?
For this year.
That's a new one.
I believe
that's full thermal.
February.
Oh, so it's not even the one he showed me.
The infrared outdoor.
I could see deer like 200 yards away at night, and
640
fully in the day.
This has the LRF, which is
But I mean, if this is your passion,
it.
this is what you want to do, go for it.
If you notice on
You're not hurting
Ben's,
anybody.
Ben has a
You're not,
light underneath
not
his
out
gun.
robbing people.
This is thermal, so you don't need.
So pause that a
you
second.
don't need.
So you see how Brian just showed my light, how we turned and showed my light.
Let me back up here.
Brian is.
Aid.
Go ahead, right there.
Yep.
Brian is not running that. When you run thermal, you run full thermal. All you see is hot images. You do not run a light. There's no light needed in thermal.
Okay, so what I was looking through was infrared.
So you were looking for an IR light and night vision. That's what you were looking through.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference.
I like that.
And that's what I run. That's actually what I have 2 scopes up for sale of that right now. That's what I have. So
I'll be right back.
Brian runs the full thermal. So Brian is not required to use any type of IR light possible. I mean, he does not need anything. It is all heat censored, heat imaged, and it's neat. And listen, before we quit the conversation of this, we'll pull an image of night vision and we'll pull an image of thermal to show everybody the difference. Anybody that's not seeing or ever used the difference, it's incredible. I got to tell you that I am not a fan of thermal. I like to fully 100% identify what I'm shooting. I've actually passed up on animals because my eyes couldn't verify, even though he could. And the thermal is based on the image of the animal through your heat. So if you make a mistake, it's way easier. Way easier. I know we were out the other night looking through his scope and a fox came in when we were coyote hunting. And I can tell you that it was super hard to tell the difference. So through the night vision, if a red fox comes in, it looks like it has boots. There's other features, but the easiest feature to me is through the night vision, it looks like it has boots on it. And that's easily displayed as a red fox. When you're looking through the thermal, it's not as easy to display through that. I personally don't think so. Now there's a lot of things you can tell: bushy tail, size, all those things matter. I mean, 9 out of 10 of it's running to the call. It's coming. If you're playing coyote sounds that's running at the call, it's usually a coyote. However, that's not always the case. Oh, hold on here. Badger Dirt Outdoors. What is the main point that draws you into predator hunt like this? Spending so much time and money on hunting a largely inedible animal seems almost crazy. So that I love that, dude. That's a great question. Badger Dirt Outdoors, thank you very much for asking that. Let me tell you that when I first got into predator hunting, I was completely mind baffled by the amount of money that it takes. So the theory behind I was taught from day one is buy once, cry once. That's the motto in predator hunting. And I refuse to spend the money. So I went out a few times with a red light, which I have a bunch of red lights upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun. I like it. I got into doing it. Once I started fox, so I started fox first. Once I started realizing there's no one else out there, and it's so calm, I see things at night that you would never see in the day. Now, when I tell you that I see big buck, I'm not telling you that I see big buck. I'm telling you I see big buck.
Yeah, but the point, I think
those. Well, I know, but I'm getting at where I'm at. So I just enjoy going out because, for one, there's nobody else there. For two, it's so much fun when you put a call out there and you hear, you're playing rabbit squeals. So say fox hunting, you're playing rabbit squeals and whatever, and you hear that coming. Oh my God, it is so neat to sit there and watch it at thermal and just see something running full speed through this thermal at you. The excitement that comes over you, honestly, and I mean this, if I had more spots to do it and I have to hunt the same 20 spots, 25 spots over and over again, I probably would give up deer hunting. That's how much I enjoy it. It is so much fun. Now, is it easier than trapping? I don't know if it's easier. However, I do in a lot of instances think it is. So you set up a tripod, you put a gun on a thing, you BS with your buddy, you have a lot of fun, and you put on a call and they come into the call. So is it easier than trapping? Probably in a lot of ways.
Because you don't have to go out and keep checking your traps when you're.
Yeah, it's if I feel like going, I go.
But it's probably cheaper to trap.
It's probably cheaper to trap by far. I don't know, man. I've seen some of these trappers. I
Really?
cheap traply. Yeah, cheap traply. I trap cheaply. So I honestly, there is some very expensive things out there for trapping. Chris, there was one more question. We popped it up. I want to make sure I answer all of them.
What draws you into predator hunting?
Oh, it was cheaper. Okay, so it was cheaper was the question.
Yeah.
I covered both in one.
That's why I got it.
So yeah, trapping is by far probably cheaper. There's no lying. I don't think there's a comparison. However, if you do a cheap setup, like a red light, you can get in a red light setup for probably $200-300. So then I would say it's not cheaper than trapping. Now, red light setups, Bob Chase said he hunts usually 50 yards. That's perfect. If you're 50 yards, there is no issue with any of that. You do your thing. Red lights are more than perfect. My opinion, I went red lights, right? And I was like, this is a lot of fun. Then I got him on Brian's scope. Now, Chris, you can chime in here at any point because you got it behind Brian's scope when we first started checking this stuff out.
Well, I was so new to this when we first went out that I didn't know, I had a green light because we had the red, the green, and the white. Remember the lenses, and I put on the green light because I thought, I didn't know any better. And sure enough, as soon as we started hearing them howling and I turned on that green light, they took off like a rocket. You weren't going to see them. But yeah, as soon as that's the one I was talking about earlier when I saw an entire herd of deer, like 150, 200 yards out, using this IR scope. And I don't think I could do thermal just because me being a Cyclops, I'm not sure I could see it correctly. But I could definitely see as clear as day the eyeballs of those deer. They were that close. The thermal brought them that in, or the IR brought them in. Not even kidding. It was neat. I want one.
I want to answer one more thing, which really wasn't asked, but if you really read their question, you can kind of pick it up. So, is it worth spending all that money on a setup like this? So, my opinion, I'm going to shoot you straight. I will never spend the amount of money Brian has on a setup. You can't pay me, and I love doing it.
No.
You just can't pay me to do it.
I think we could.
However, I don't regret spending the money I spent on my setup. If anybody's going to do it, I would not recommend going crazy. I would recommend buying a light minimal setup. Sightmark makes your cheaper setups that are at a quality standard yet. And I think those are your ways to go.
But let me put this out there, homie G-Dog Slim Nipples.
Got you.
Word. Remember how I was up with Brandon?
Yes.
And we were up in New York. Now, again, we're talking from a PA perspective because that's what we know. I had the opportunity to hunt New York. Not literally hunt New York because it's a big state. You can't shoot it.
Jeez.
But when I was up there, you can hunt deer like 10 o'clock at night. And that's what we were. We were out ag hunting, red tag. And for instances like that, for things like that, I would recommend. I could see spending all of this money on this setup if you're going to use it for deer hunting at night as well, for things like Badger says, for something you're able to eat. So in that case, yes. Oh, also, I didn't know that you could, do a through and through and shoot 2 deer at once, or else I would have done that too. But I tried to wait for the one to clear, and then they both ran, and I didn't get a shot. But I had 2 right in there, and it was you could see him clear as day. But this is pitch black dead of night. when you're allowed to do it there. And I don't know if there's any other states out there that allow you to hunt deer at night. This kind of thing might be just for you. Again, we're not sponsored by any of this stuff. We don't care one way or another as far as that goes, but that's my personal opinion on it. I think it would be definitely worth it if you're in those states where you can hunt after daylight hours.
Dude, I absolutely love it. I couldn't tell you how much I enjoy doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't. There's no words for how much I enjoy predator hunting at night. I don't like falling asleep in my vehicle on the way home after 8 hours in dark. That's my downfall. But here's the other thing. So let me point this out to you all quick. Both them scopes, the inexpensive, right now, Sidemark Wrath is selling scopes. Good scopes for $600. And they video record. Like I video record all our hunts. Brian can video record through thermal. So I don't realize people realize like it's a lot of money, but there's a lot that comes with these scopes as well.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of maintenance and things. Forgive me for 1 second. I just have to do one thing real quick. Okay.
Yep.
Pops, are you still on? If you're still on, set a comment down there. I need to talk to you. All right.
Okay. So this video here, I don't know if there's sound on this. This video here is of a Pulsar. I forget what model. I thought I picked it up to show the model. I guess I did not. It's a Pulsar thermal. This one here was $1,800.
Really? But now this, when you say thermal, you're looking through it like the Predator, right? Where you can see the heat signatures and all this.
Yeah, yeah. So, and they're all monoculars, yes. And everything we use is a single eye monocular.
Gotcha.
So this is a Pulsar thermal. That one there was, I think that one was 18 or $2,000. Now mine, Chris has a little video of mine right after that or right before that.
Yep.
So mine
it's
is
just not
a
no. Oh, let me see if I can't. Yeah, no, I don't have that actually. See, this is the ones you sent, and then there was one that
I sent it. It didn't go through then.
Well, it says error loading. Yeah.
That's
just
so
you know.
So let me send that over, guys, real quick. I apologize. It only take a second. I just want to show you the different. I really want to show you the different. Let's set up some varieties out there. So just bear with me 1 second. It'll take 2 seconds to get it over there.
What is this crap right here? Jeez, look at them.
Those are sexy guys.
I'm telling you.
Okay. So, Chris, you should get it right now.
I'm sure I will. I have faith.
Okay. So, Brian's thermal is, and I will say this, is very clear. He paid $2,000 for his. His is super clear. Again, it's a thermal. Picks out images, but it is super clear. Now, let me tell you that they make thermals out there. Brian's $5,500 scope is clear. I mean, it's clear compared to the low-cost thermals out there.
Yeah. Now, is it like brand name, like Bushnell kind of a deal? Oh, there we go.
There you go. So I run a Taipan. What is mine? A Taipan 314, I believe it is. 364. 384. So it's a Taipan 384.
Yeah.
I absolutely love my thermal. I've gone out with guys, other guys doing this who have thermals, and they were just impressed by my thermal dramatically. So my opinion when it comes to thermal, it's going to be based on the price you spend. You are getting what you pay for. I swore I would never buy a thermal because Brian had one. But there's nothing worse than somebody sneaking in on you and you ain't ready for it. Those things you can't pick up with a red light.
Really?
No. So your red light picks up eyeballs.
Well, yeah.
And the IR light's great, but you run everything dead if you let it on all night trying to figure out how to, you're not going to, when you're running an IR light, right? You're looking in your scope. So you're like this, okay? Sure. So the last thing you want to do is the whole night just scan a field like this. Very uncomfortable. Your back will hurt. You know, some sets are 45 minutes an hour. So your back will hurt. Your eyes will get weird. What I like is with the thermal, you put it on your neck you'll see on mine, there's a green lanyard there.
Mm-hmm.
I pick it up and I just I put my one hand in my pocket. I try not to move my feet at all, and I just scan in a 360. You know? I just keep scanning.
If they're 25 yards away from you sitting, I mean, you still sometimes miss.
Yeah, it happens, Chris. It happens, right? We're human. All right, Chris? Doggone it, Chris.
I wish I had
That's
that
where
video.
you bring the shotgun guy, Chris. It does. It happens. Listen, I hate saying it. I missed a fox last year. I think I missed a fox last year at 30 yards.
I was there, yeah. That's why I brought it up.
I was that was red light.
Yep.
And I had a hard time, if you remember, with a red light. I always had a hard time finding it in my scope.
Well, plus you have to be ultra sure what you're shooting at. You know what I mean? Because if it's
that was the other thing.
If you see a pair of eyes that you think is far out, and you think it might be a coyote, but it's actually a deer laying down, you don't want to shoot that. You know?
I missed some of the comments. I just got off the phone with Paint Train Outdoors. They just shot a tank of a buck in Maryland. That's awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations to you guys. So
we got to get with these guys and get people on here to tell about this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
back, message them. Tell them we want them on to show us pictures and tell us about this buck.
Yeah, we got the link here in the comments. You can feel free to send it out.
So I personally, and I would never have done this until I did it, recommend buying a thermal when you're doing this.
This like a thermal, not an IR.
Not a thermal. I recommend an IR scope on my personal level because I think you can see clear and identify your targets easier through the scope. And I think when you're scanning, the thermal is the way to go. Your thermal imaging will pick up any heat sensor. In mine, I can run hot black, white black. Sorry. Hot, fuchsia, white, black, and there's something else. I can run 5 or 6 different ones in mine. And I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
Well, Matt, if you get the pictures of that and they don't want to come on, it's okay. If they don't, I understand. But if they do want to come on, feel free to send them the link. But if they don't want to come on, still send us the pictures. We'll put them up. We'll show them. But the thing I wanted to ask you, Benjamina, how, because of what we do, right, with the videos and everything else, the cameras on them, how are they? Because you told me that they can film right through the scope. With the
honestly, I've sent you a ton of videos. We have a ton up on our YouTube. Anybody wants to go see them? They are. I wish I would have sent you one, but I have a new phone, so I lost them all.
Yeah,
I had them all downloaded to my phone. But I have some incredible videos. The scope on my gun currently, the one I'm gonna sell cheap, is not the quality of these newer scopes. I mean, I've used it for years, killed things, had no issues. I killed fox at 200-300 yards with it. However, it is not the quality these new ones have.
I'm going to do something here. I can't wait to hear about it. I can't wait to see it.
Ringer Ron, man, you got to get them on. I want them on to tell their story. I'm excited, man. Next Monday, tell them we want them.
But I'm going to show something quick because I know you know me, right?
Right.
So you know I got something. This is an IR light, or this is the red light, right? Or is this the IR?
No, this is IR.
And you can see it clear running through at you. Plus, it still highlights the eyes.
That's on a little phone screen. Imagine what that would look like. Now look at this. Now remember I said the boots on a fox?
Done.
Remember I said the boots on a red fox? You can tell difference immediately by the boots. Watch the boots. Watch the boots right there.
And then it stops. It sits.
Put them right between and doop. So good job, Chris. I knew you'd be on your game. So that's an IR. That is what a night vision IR light does. Now, another part of this that I think people get caught up on, and listen, We talk about guns being money and what's what.
Mhm.
Thermals are just as much as scopes, but you get what you pay for. Is my opinion when it comes to this stuff. Okay. Anybody again that Badger asked, is it worth it? I would never spend what these guys spend.
Because
However, I love it and enjoy it. Well, for one, I'm a single father. I can't afford it.
well,
For two, if I could afford it, I might. To be honest, if I wasn't, I probably would.
well, I just meant he has the full setup and he still missed this one.
I was going to say it's still. I was going to say it's still based on if you can
Off
hit
the
them.
hook, man. It's been
Right.
like forever.
Off
and
the
3
hook.
days.
What's up,
How the heck
brother?
you been?
So it's still based on if you can hit them at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
the
just thought it was
reality
funny.
is you got the best setup in the world. It still comes down to can you hit them.
Yeah, I just thought that one
The
was
sighting
funny.
them in is completely different than a regular scope. It is nothing like a regular scope. You actually electronically keep dialing them in till you hit the spot. It's insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, Chris, if you scroll down, there's one on there of a fox that I had at 20 yards and the AR misfired.
I thought we only had the 2 videos of it, but I could have been mistaken.
But
who's that sexy mother?
So there is those things. Now, one thing what a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of money invested and tied into, in my opinion, is you guys are going to laugh at this, but your call.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to show you the call we use. Chris has a video of it. This is what we use. Fox Pro, if you want to sponsor us, I will take you any time of the day. Get a hold of me.
And then you saw it take off.
Yep. Now, you see that flashing? Guys, I want to point something out here. You guys see how that's flashing?
Yeah.
So that is what it looks like. That's what it looks like when your IR light's dying.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was.
If your IR light starts to die, it will flash. And you got to keep turning it down and turning it down to savor it, or it will just flash to a point where it's gone.
Yeah.
Always, note to self,
TJ.
always carry a battery in your pocket. Lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
Always, 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 always carry a battery. Right? What was that one, Chris?
Sorry.
Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. You just had one. Nope, keep going. Right there. What was that?
What, this one? That's the one I showed first.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I went to the oldest and we're going back to new.
Yeah, there's one there somewhere where I had a fox at, oh my God, it was 30 yards and the gun went click. You can see the scope move and it just takes off. But so another thing a lot of people forget there's money invested into. I'm telling you, and this call is phenomenal. This is my favorite call. Crow hunting, anything we can use an electronic call for. Okay.
Yeah.
Fox
I'm
Pro.
trying to find it, but I don't see it. It's just, but I know. Yeah.
So Fox Pro X24. Now, I go myself. I personally never spent the money. So Badger, if you're listening, I never spent the money on a Fox Pro X24. I did buy a Fox Pro Patriot, and I bought a Flex Tone, which between the two, I could have just went and bought one. But I personally have never paid the money because of what it costs to buy one.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I wish every day I would just quit being cheap and go buy one because them calls are awesome. We have a Fox Pro X24 that I just, I can't even explain it, to be honest with you. I can't even explain it. Oh, so hey, Pulsar C50. Chris, see that one?
Yeah.
Right here. Guys, we were talking about a Pulsar C50, Brian's old setup. Here it is. Watch this double scope. He shoots a coyote in this one. Watch the top screen. It splits in half. When you zoom in so far.
What?
Yep. Want to hear something funny? Guess how far that is.
Well, it says 322 yards.
Yep, 320. Oh, I didn't realize it was still there. 322 yards.
There's another one going right behind it.
Yep.
Dang.
And that's another thing a lot of people don't realize. When you get a coyote in, they do the death. I call it the death stop. They're only stopping once.
Mm-hmm.
If they stop once and turn around, shoot them. You're never getting them again.
Well, that one stopped once or twice, but I think
that one stopped leaving. That was almost in the wood line when he shot it.
Yeah. Well, you got.
But you notice, so the Pulsar C50 runs about $1,500. Tell me that's not awesome. 322 yards. Look how that zoomed that in and set that up like that. Tell me that's not an awesome scope. That's actually the scope I want to buy. I'm just too cheap to buy it.
And this is filmed through that scope. Like
that's filmed through the scope. Yep. That's exactly what he sees. What you see there is what he's seeing when he shoots.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Yep. That's a Pulsar C50. I want one of them so bad.
Mm-hmm. Never encountered.
I've never encountered. I agree. Lucky Duck and Fox Pro are the two top calls out there, in my opinion. But I will tell you, if I had to put one against the other, I will always pick Fox Pro. I crow hunt with a Fox Pro. I don't know, man. I love it. So our call, we have a little video of our call here.
You do?
Yep. Unless that one didn't go through either.
I was going to say, let me close this and let me double check it because I didn't see that. I only got these 4.
Oh, that one never went through either.
No, it didn't, Booba.
So we have a. Oh crap! Hey, here's that buck they just shot. Chris, there's that buck they just shot. That'll buy me a second. Out in Maryland. It's a dandy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wish we could get them around here. Now, well, no, I'm not going to ask any questions because I want them to come on and tell us.
Okay.
Or else I'd be asking because I want to ask all the questions.
I want to send this to you just so we can share it quick.
That's pretty cool.
Got it? All right. Yep, should pop up any second, guys.
Yeah,
so,
usually will.
So this is the call we use.
But
I don't know why I won't play that video.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll just tell you. So we use a Fox Pro X24. We do not use a decoy. A lot of guys say the decoy makes a difference. I personally don't think it makes a difference. We use MFK sounds. Look at Chris. He's on his game.
What about, and forgive me because I might be mistaken. It's happened once before. Where you have the little motorized tail that spins.
That's your decoy setup.
Okay.
They do come with them. I don't want to say come with them. They are an option.
I've seen them just nail them.
We just don't use them. We've never had to. Do they help? Probably. We've had them on calls. I think they help a lot with Fox.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion, I think they help a lot with Fox. When it comes to coyotes, I don't think it makes much of a difference.
Is this the same thing we used for crows too?
Yep. That's an X24. Now, that X24, any Fox Pro you can load what they call MFK sounds.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sounds out there. I'm going to tell you that in my experience of doing this and with others, that MFK sounds are the top-notch sounds you put in these calls. There are MFK sounds out there that just are incredible. I mean, when I tell you the dogs go crazy, they go crazy. They go nuts over some of these calls. And it's like anything else, Chris. So in any other way, if it's mating season, you got to use the right mating calls.
Mm-hmm.
If it's coyotes are very territorial. Okay. Basically, the way I like to word it and say it is they live on invisible boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Coyotes live in invisible boundaries and they don't like to cross them boundaries. So if they cross them boundaries, that pisses off another coyote and they want a piece of them, right? That's where the fighting comes in. So object is to get them to come to the other side or be within their boundaries. So these things, some of these sounds out there are incredible. But I will tell you this. I know guys that have been in Kansas hunting them. I know guys that have been in PA hunting them. and it is a whole nother world.
Mhm.
So they've taken these same calls, same sounds, gone to Kansas and called in 30 coyotes in a night. Here in PA, you're lucky to call in 2 or 3 in a night, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So again, depending where you're at in PA, I understand there's places better. I'm talking our area, but that just shows you the difference. And I guess you call it supply and demand, right? I mean, it's a whole nother ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
But I stand by this call, and I do not own one, and I'm in the middle of moving, or I'd already own one. I want one bad. I use this call. I believe in this call. Again, my buddy has this call is $550, and I think he has $400 in sounds downloaded to it. So now you take his. I'm going to throw his out. You take his $8,000 setup and add another $1,000 for the call. I mean, it's insane. This is definitely a sport where it's buy once, cry once.
It's been an hour. Okay. But before we head off, there is something I wanted to mention.
Dude, I had a lot of fun talking about this.
And I'm not sure that people know about it. In July, did you know that they've passed something where they're going to start doing full Sunday hunting soon through June 30th, 2029?
I did see that.
You did?
We probably won't see it this hunting season.
No, I just saw it. I just saw it today, and I'm like, I wanted to show that quick.
Yep, I won't be this hunting season, but they're talking about passing it. Yep, it's already been approved. They're just waiting to get it through everything.
Yeah, they've already passed 3 different bills that say that there can be Sunday hunting. There was one weird thing now that if you're on private land, you have to always have written permission in your pocket, or else you can get fined for trespassing. But otherwise,
do you know how much land I hunt? I don't have written permission for, but the landowners give me permission.
You have to have written now, or else it's trespassing.
That's the dumbest rule there is. It's only trespassing if the landowner prosecutes you.
Nope, not anymore.
That's just a way to get, dude. That's just a way to get.
Here, share this tab. This bill would require hunters to have express written permission to access any private land they're hunting, or risk being cited with a summary offense. And if your dog say you're hunting with a dog and the dog runs over onto private, you have to leave your guns and everything somewhere else. Then you can go get your dog and then come back over.
Well, technically, that's always been in effect.
Well, I'm just saying.
But as for that, that's once this bill passes, right?
Yeah.
So once this bill passes, it'll be that you need, technically right now by law, you're supposed to have written permission for anything you do. I don't have a single piece of written permission. I have probably 50 farms I can hunt. I think that's the dumbest crap they ever come out with, and I apologize, but that's what I think.
Well, I just wanted to let you know what I saw today. But anyway, all right.
Yo, absolutely. I'm glad you did. I really am. I always feel like they're just in it for the dollar, which pisses me off.
Well, again, a $25 what do you call it? Pheasant stamp thing, you know?
But
we're heading out too there, bud.
I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I really do. I'd like to talk on more subjects that you guys listen. I invite anybody. Badger Outdoors. Who'd they say shot that big buck?
Let me pull it right up for you.
I think it was
Pain Train Outdoors.
Yeah. I invite anybody to come on the show and join us in conversation. Here's the thing. So we don't know everything, and we don't claim to know everything. However, maybe you can teach us something, or we can teach you something. And that's why we do this. And another thing out there is, we're always looking, you guys see our sponsor page, always looking at a sponsor to that page. Mm-hmm. There's a few ways you can add a sponsor to that page. One is you can donate money. One is you can donate product. And we love doing product tests and reviews. I need to point this out. We absolutely love it. However, if you do a product test review with us, please know we won't post negative stuff on your product. We're not out to make a fool of you. but we won't share your product if we disagree. We'll just let you know our honest feedback. And we love that part. But we are always looking to get the viewers involved. I love getting the viewers involved, just like Predator setups. I hope this helped you guys, show you a cheap way out. Hope it helps show you mid-grade and expensive. I mean, I figured eyes can take it from there and imaginations, but it is intense. Love doing it. And I just always grateful that we had a lot of guests on tonight, Chris. I don't know if you've seen that. We had a whole lot. A lot of people involved, a lot of guests on, and I love that. I love having you guys part of the show. Please participate more. We're still looking for funny videos, still looking for products of the week. If you make a product, listen, we don't have to talk about your product. You can. You have a product of the week, just reach out to us. Let us know you have a product of the week you want to talk about. We'll get you on the show. We'll give you, a 20-minute window. Heck, depending on what you have, we'll give you the whole show. Show off your cool products. And we'll ask questions on them as we go. We've done that a million times. And we enjoy it. We enjoy what we do. We enjoy how we do it. And we enjoy you guys being part of it. So please reach out to us. BigSexyOutdoors2021.com, or you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. You can reach out to us anyway, and we are there. Also, I want to throw this out before you guys go. I know we still have a bunch of viewers on. The Big Sexy Outdoors merch shop is still up, and we want to make sure you guys know to get on that. Chris, can you put a link up for me quick?
I'm working on it. Yep.
So Chris is going to put a link below for the BSO merch shop. It is Chris, what is the link? Can you just off the top of your head? Because I know it's a little different than what they're used to seeing.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, link is up now for that. There it is. BSO Square. That's what it was. I was thinking Square. BSO merch link is up. We have some awesome stuff on there. We just had a bunch of people order some Trump shirts. We had a bunch of people order some blankets. And let me tell you, nobody has complained about our blankets or your Trump shirts. Also, one last thing I want to throw out there is Chris has up a sale. We've done a lot of talking. Chris has agreed to put up Gun Hunting board game. That is up for grabs. That is up at a low cost. That is a board game that we have sat down, discussed, made. And this board game is a family fun board game of 1 to 4 players. And it is discounted right now. And we did it through eBay to secure a link for everybody. Everybody knows it's safe and going.
Yep.
That is discounted right now for the low price of, Chris?
$18.
You will not find it cheaper. It is not possible. We are the only ones that created this game, and it will not be put up cheaper. This is the cheapest you can reach it. Please go to eBay, purchase yourself a game. Let us know your thoughts. And I think I covered every single thing there is, Chris.
Yep. I got to go.
One last thing. Chris has just released a new book. Slaughterville is now in a hardcover book. Make sure you jump on, check out Chris's new book. That has been going awesome in the funding stages. To the point of it's taking off the shelves like a deer in the rut, baby. So make sure you guys check that out as well. A lot of stuff we're not asking you to buy. Just asking you to take 5 minutes of your time, maybe check it out and share it for us. Just like tonight's podcast. If you can do that for us, we appreciate it.
Mean the world.
Chris, any word of wisdom before we go?
No, just God bless, and thanks everybody for stopping in.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. We appreciate you. We appreciate having you. And we absolutely love our viewers and what you guys do for us. Thank you. Have a great night. God bless. Big Sexy out.